All right, I got my film study from last week out, and that's pretty much all I'm going to do, talk about that amazing game. But really, it's all about this week. This Bills versus Dolphins matchup. For the Dolphins, it's a chance to seize control of the AFC East and really take a strong lead in this AFC. I wouldn't categorize it a must-win, but it's a big win if the Dolphins can somehow get it. For the Bills, conversely, it's a must-win. You can't go down 2 games to your division opponent and lose in your house. It would be a very tough task to overcome that. So it's a must-win for the Bills. It's a critical win for the Dolphins. But overall, this is going to be a great chance for football lovers to get together, to watch this awesome bit of artwork. But I'm going to start covering the matchup here, but really going to have to start with the injury situation for both teams. I'll get into the X's and O's. I'm going to do Back to the Live on Friday night here at 10 p.m. And then with my man Tommy over at Mafia Sports Report on Saturday at 6 p.m. and the rest of the guys talking over. But I'll start getting tighter and tighter coverage as we lead up into this critical and exciting game. But the injury thing, both teams have a list of injuries and they're interesting. And for the team to be at peak talent, concerning if these players don't play. So I'm going to cover the injury situation today on both teams. I'm going to dip my toe in the Bills one because I don't know exactly how it's going. I'm going to focus on the Dolphins. And there's a lot of stuff there. So I'm going to cover the injuries and then what it would look like if, well, you know, what I'm going to talk about, Connor Williams isn't playing this week. So before I get into that, though, Tim Foley, a big-time Dolphin during the golden era of the Dolphins, cornerback safety. I don't remember him. I was watching in 78, but, you know, I don't know. I didn't know what the heck I was looking at. He passed away, sadly, made the Pro Bowl in 79, a play that guys really talk about, you know, a big piece to the puzzle. Sadly, he passed away, so my condolences to the Dolphin faithful, the Dolphin franchise, to Tim Foley's family. It's not easy saying goodbye, but the guy lived an incredible life and was a good guy from all reports. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, get into the less important stuff, the football stuff, injuries. Listen, Bills got Ryan Bates, their starting center, who's playing pretty well. He's got an ankle, did not practice. Leonard Floyd, their best pure pass rusher. Rousseau's, I think, the better balanced. Ankle, did not practice. Micah Hyde, hamstring, did not practice. Jordan Poyer, hamstring, did not practice. And Tyron Johnson, he was limited with his hip. Now, I think Poyer and Hyde is just old veteran type stuff. I think they'll be back. You never know. But the ankle thing for Floyd, who's a pass rusher, you saw what happened to John Jones. You never know what can happen with this. So this is something to keep your eye on. Bates, he's a big offensive lineman. I think they just tape that thing up and whatever. Give him the veteran day off. So these are critical pieces. You know, we got to see how that plays out. But for the Dolphins, there are more concerning and more serious issues that I think will lead into guys not showing up, which really sucks, man. I want the Dolphins and the Bills to square it out. Whoever wins, wins. You know, but I want the teams to be whole. And I'm just not certain at this stage it's going to be that way. But there's a great opportunity for evaluation here for the parts that are coming in to replace these guys if they don't show up. But it's not written in stone, they're not. So Tyron, you know, he's always injured, whatever, it doesn't matter. He chops his arms off and he's still going to come in and he's, you know, he'll give it one pressure. So, no big deal. Veteran day off. Now, Craycraft, I did in my film, I showed you how critical this guy was. He filled the share field role, being physical, blocking. Some people don't just look at him as the receiver aspect, which he does contribute here, but it's the physical blocking aspect. He is dialed in to McDaniel's system. The separated shoulder looks like he's going to land on IR, and that hurts. But then EZ now has a neck problem. And he hasn't been a big part of the pass game, but he's a guy that does, you know, give him the athletic runs and short pass, and he's been making some stuff happen. So the receiving group has been diminished a little bit. Thankfully, though, Waddle's got the red jersey off. It looks like he's going to play. That's a big, big deal. I mean, Hill and Waddle and the Chosen and Berrios, this is still a blazing unit. But that physicality, the blocking is not going to be there with Craycraft. Now, Phillips, I thought it was a back, but now they're saying oblique. And if you remember what happened to Waddle, he was out for a while. They babied that because that's a core muscle. It ties everything together. And I really don't like this. I hate it because I want this guy to do well. He's such a talent. He's such a great guy. And I just don't like it. But I think that they're going to baby this thing because, you're looking towards long-term stuff. You don't want something to get more serious, a torn oblique or something like that. And now he's done for the season. So I think he's going to be rested for a few weeks. It hurts if he's not in. If you remember, Brown, their right tackle, likes to hold Phillips all day. He's been a terror for the Bills. And his speed really he's able to chase down Allen. He's just a really good piece to go against Allen. Now, I like VG a lot. VG's a good player, but Phillips is that explosive talent. And so there is a diminishing both in starting peak talent and then in the depth. So that will hurt. I don't think it's devastating, but it's going to be felt. And that kind of sucks. I want to see these two teams, like I said, go against each other whole. Now, there's a bunch of other injuries here, that they're all just nicks. Everybody's going to be there. But it's the Connor Williams injury. Week 2, he was listed, no problems, but he had a knee, and now it's the groin. And I don't know what to make of it, but when I read what McDaniel says about it, it's a little bit concerning. He said, when asked about it, he said, well, I had the quote here. Anyway, he said basically was, it's day to day, but we're talking to the trainers and we're trying to figure it out. There's a paraphrase, but it was that little, we're trying to figure it out type thing that really has me concerned that this will be at least a 1-week absence. And Connor Williams is such a huge piece. DF, he's a commenter here, a big guy. I think he played some big-time ball. He's older than me. He's an old guy. Goes back to 77. He made an astute point early on. He said, look, Connor's blocking on his own. Wynn's blocking his own. Lamb's blocking his own. And then Hunt is helping out Jackson. And that was a key piece for what Connor was doing. And then if you look at the film I did, you could see him getting to that second level, out wide on the zone stretch and getting to that second level. You could see him in the inside zone and the inside runs getting to that second level. Yes, he's got the snap issues. And some people, you can't help but think about it, but you're not seeing what this guy's doing. Well, this is going to be an opportunity if he's not in to kind of say, hey, all right, this is what it's going to look like if he's not here. Now, we all know Eichenberg's his backup. It's a little curious. We got rid of Feeney. And so I'm going to go over the matchups from the Bills with us and really with Connor in and with Connor out with Eichenberg. And it is concerning to me. I can't lie. A lot of people are high on Wynn. But I don't know if I'm too high on him. I'm still waiting. There's some talk about that. And then some people are high on Jackson. I don't know about that. But Eichenberg, I think everyone's a little concerned about. So I'm going to pull it all together. But before I do that, I want to say, guys, thanks for the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the views. All that stuff is what makes this channel go. So I want to give you a shout out and a shout out to Ace Bread, my sponsor, because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. If Connor's not in, if Connor's in, I really like our chances. I'm still curious about Wynn, but Connor and Hunt and Tehran are a lifeline to everybody. I don't think Wynn's really got a chance to be tested We will see. That's my evaluation. I could be wrong. I think Jacksonburg has had some plays, but then a lot of times people don't show the ones he doesn't make. But he's been protected a lot too. But now with Eichenberg, you're going to have to protect Eichenberg. So you're going to have to leave Wynn and Jackson on their own, and that could be concerning. If you go back, Eichenberg's snaps were all over the place, worse than Connor's. His run blocking was terrible, got blown up a couple of times, just really not sure what's going on. His pass blocking wasn't terrible, but it was the end of the game where Denver kind of quit. I don't think anybody can really feel too high on him, and it changes the way this offense of line and offense will be run. So let's hope Connor's in. I want this, like I said, I want to see this team win. I want to see this team be evaluated fairly. If you take Connor out, and now if you take him out and Eichenberg does great, that says a lot, and I'll get to that. But if you take him out and Eichenberg struggles and you have lots of problems on this offensive line, there's going to be a lot of narratives going forward. Oh, they weren't as good as we thought. No one's going to say, hey, they didn't have their starting offensive line and this is what it did in the protections and all that. They're not going to say that. And I think that would be a shame too. So hopefully you pull if Connor's in, but if Connor's not in, you want Eichenberg to thrive and then everything goes well. But if it doesn't, there's going to be some problems, I think, with Eichenberg. And Eichenberg struggles with power. Wynn struggles with power, although he hasn't had a chance to really get that exposed. Jackson struggles with power, and he hasn't really had a chance to get that exposed. We'll see. I mean, all the people that are high on these three guys and the way we've built this offensive line, they're going to get their chance to shine. Now, if Eichenberg is in, they're going to protect him. You got Daquan Jones, 320, playing great, very physical. They can line him right up over Eichenberg. They can play in the A-gap on him, and he's not going to be able to handle them. There's things they can do to mitigate this stuff, but there's going to be moments where talent's going to have to shine. And so you're going to see a lot of Hunt having to pair with Eichenberg, and then that's going to put Jackson on his own, either one-on-one against Rousseau or one-on-one against Floyd. And that's a little concerning. To me, Teron's going to do his thing. I don't care who's over there. He's going to take one or two guys out. But he's going to be locked on his own. You're going to get a double inside. And then you're going to get, because they're not going to leave Eichenberg alone too much, you're going to see Wynn and Jackson get a chance to prove their worth. I think Oliver, he's actually got 15 in pressures inside most of any DT. He's playing well. He's got speed. He's physical. He matches up well with Wynn because Wynn's a shorter guy. He gets that leverage. He's got good hands, and the ball comes out quick. But now you're going to see him go against a guy who's a little bit of his height, very fast, be able to use that Randall-esque type of stuff, or then they can flip-flop it, and then you can have Daquan or Phillips. Phillips is 340, and he's going to put pressure inside, and that can make Eichenberg and Wynn pair together, and then you can have Hunt operate on his own and Teron operate on his own, and then you would have Jackson again on his own. But one of the things that Hunt struggles with, although not so much this year, is recognizing the swaps. And if you look at Bernard, the linebacker, he is he had a 4.59 40, 79 percentile, 35.5 vertical, 10.3 broad jump. His three cone and his shuttle were all in the 60% range. And he's had some successful blitzes. He's looking really good. And so you can get the four guys to suck the five guys up, and then you can get that opening where you get like a Baker blitz with Bernard, and it's the interior pressure that's a concern. You can also force Eichenberg to have to help Hunt, and then leaving Wilkins Wynn on his own. And so I don't worry about the outside pressure. I'm not too concerned so much with Jackson. He can delay a guy long enough, and two is smart enough to step up, make those quick reads. I do think the pass is going to be slowed down, but we can go over the coverage later. It's that interior pressure that is a concern. Because if you're getting a step up and then you're getting that interior pressure, it could spell problems for this offense. I think with Eichenberg in there, you still are going to have a successful offense. You're still going to have pop runs and pop passes, but the frequency is going to be altered. And I think it's going to drive everyone back to looking at this offensive line. And I said at the beginning of the year, the way it's been designed, the players that are in there, it's not what I would choose. But it's what this team has chosen, from the GM to the coach. And so it's going to look like genius or foolishness. And now you have Eichenberg maybe starting. You're going to get to see if Wynn is truly the guy we think he is, and Jackson is the guy that we think he is, or some people think he is. But it's going to determine a lot. And I just really hope, again, that a critical game like this doesn't have Eichenberg at center. But this will be a great opportunity to eval if it passes. If Eichenberg steps up and, we get a win here and everything's kind of going pretty good, that means you can let Connor go next year. You have Eichenberg, who you invested in. You can put the money in. It says a lot. Not to mention the depth of this offensive line, the talent of this offensive line. To do that, to go in there without Connor and win and be able to run and pass and stuff like that, Sky would be. Super Bowl is definitely where we're going. Best team, I would say, in the AFC. It would be an unbelievable thing. I just don't know how things are going to look. I didn't like it with Eichenberg, just from the snapping situation. But let's hope again Connor gets in there. So injury is going to be key. Tomorrow's report is going to tell us a lot. But beyond that, the players are going to still play. The team's going to play. We'll get into the X's and O's as we go. I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff in the X's and O area for these two games, for these two teams in this game. It's going to be a phenomenal game. Let's just hope Connor's in. Anyway, Curtis saying thanks for stopping by. Catch you next time. Be well. See you soon. Go Fins. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with AceBread.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.